Hey guys, it's me, Seren, back with another video. If you guys can see my desk, I can't really tell, but if you guys can see my desk, don't judge me. It is extremely messy, but I just don't have it in me to neaten it up right now. This is going to be a really quick My Black Life, another book unboxing, part 3. Yeah, part 3. Of some books that I recently picked up that I wanted to talk to you guys about, and also some magazines. These magazines are actually from October 2016. I've had them for over a month, but I haven't read them, but I'll get to the magazines towards the end. So I wanted to talk about these 3 books that I ordered by Beverly Jenkins. As you can see, these are romance novels. I'm not going to call them trashy romance novels because they are not trashy. They're very well written. Beverly Jenkins is a really, really, really great writer, and she writes historical romances about African Americans, which I really, really like. In one of my other videos on books, I talked a little bit about contemporary romances. So, but I know not everyone likes contemporary stuff, and it can be hard. Now, my favorite genre of romance is historical fiction. One of my favorite genres, period, is historical fiction. And I've talked in other videos about how recently I've also been really, really into the frontier and the West, and I like pirates, and I like Southern Gothic, and a lot of times those narratives have been really, really whitewashed, just like I talked about in my Magnificent Seven video. So I like that Beverly Jenkins writes historical romances about African Americans, specifically at different points in American history. So in I believe it was my part 2 video, I bought a book called Destiny's Embrace, I think it was called, and it ended up being the first book in a series. When I bought the book, I didn't realize that it was the first book in a series, but it's about 3 brothers that they own a huge ranch in California, and it's set in the Wild West, the American frontier, pioneer times, and they own this huge ranch in California. And so the first book was about the oldest brother, Logan, and him finding love or whatever, and then these 2 books are about the 2 younger brothers. And one of the younger brothers, this one, Noah, is a pirate. Well, he's not a pirate. He is a sailor. He owns a boat. Let's just read the back. Noah Yates fully believes in the joys of a happy family and a good wife, but that's not the life for him. No, he would much rather sail the wild sea in search of adventure, not tied down. But then in this book, he gets robbed by this woman. So the woman is a pirate. So he's just a captain of a ship. He owns his own ship. And then he gets robbed by this black woman that's a pirate. This one was about the middle brother, who's a lawyer. And he falls in love with this woman, Billy. I don't want to get too into this one because I don't want to ruin it. I haven't read this one yet, so I don't know much about it. But I have read this one, and I don't want to ruin it. So I don't want to get too much into it, but he basically falls in love with this woman, Billy. She lives in the city in San Francisco. Their ranch is in, I guess would be, somewhere in Northern California today, and, in today's, some farm, it's farming. So their ranch is they herd cattle, and they have animals, and they do agriculture, and they're super rich. So the Yates brothers, including Logan in the first book, they're super, super rich. So it's just about these affluent, wealthy African Americans at a certain point in history that you really rarely see represented, which is why I love these books. I mentioned in another video that I have a habit of dog-earing my pages, and a lot of you guys were like, no, Seren, you're gonna ruin your books. So I bought these little post-it stickies. So pink, I bought pink for the parts of the book that I really like, and green as the placeholders. So as you can see, I like this book a lot. There were lots and lots and lots of parts that I liked in this book. So I haven't read this one yet, but I really, really love this series, and I highly recommend it if you like romance, if you like historical fiction. They're really super well written. Beverly Jenkins is an amazing writer, and she takes a lot of care with the history. She doesn't gloss over. In Destiny's Surrender, there's a subplot about how Andrew is like a lawyer, but like the backlash against Reconstruction is starting, which there's been a lot of talk about that, about what was called the redemption. So like you had the Civil War and then you had Reconstruction. And then for maybe like a 10 to 15 year period, you had this like period of like, you know, black people working with white people and like black people becoming like lawyers. And then you had redemption, which led to Jim Crow era segregation. And redemption was when white people decided, much like what we're seeing play out right now, redemption was when white people decided, actually, we don't like this shit. Like, actually, we're not feeling it, and we want the old way of life back. And that basically, again, led to segregation and led to Jim Crow until, you know, like the civil rights movement and so on and so forth. So, and a lot of people are saying that what we're seeing right now with, like, Trump is, like, a second redemption. You know, we had, like, a brief moment in time, a lot of people felt with, like, you know, the election of our first black president in 2008, like, people thought we were, like, moving into, like, a certain direction. And now we're kind of seeing, like, this backlash, this white lash. And a lot of people are calling it a second redemption. I did include a link into, on my video, my second video about the election that was called, like, are we entering a second redemption or something? So please go read that. It was really interesting. But off topic, I love these. And I also bought another book by Beverly Jenkins. This one's called Captured. This one's about pirates. Yeah. Dominic Levesque, the most notorious privateer ever to command the high seas, has just captured a coveted prize, a British frigate. Yeah, so this one is about black pirates. And I also love that Beverly Jenkins, like, writes unconventional heroines. Like, she writes unconventional women. She writes women that live in cities. She writes women pirates. Like, and she always puts this, like, focus on African American women, which I, like, love. So I bought these books. I'm super excited. So this one's called Captured. Pirates. This one's called Destiny's Captive, and this one is Destiny's Surrender. All of these books in this, like, so like the ranch that they own is called Destiny. So all these books are called, like, and the first one was called, like, Destiny's Embrace. So wanted to tell you guys about these books, and I also wanted to honorable mention these magazines that I bought. Like I said, these are from October 2016. I just saw them in Target, and I was like, ooh, black people. So I haven't even read them. I've had them over a month. So Joan Smalls was on the cover of Glamour. Joan Smalls is a black model from Puerto Rico. She was the #1 model in the country for many, many years. She's a bit older now, so I'm happy to see that she's, like, still getting covers. So I bought this one. And I also bought this cover of In Style that had Michelle Obama. Michelle Obama is also currently on the December 2016 cover of Vogue. So I'll probably buy that one too. I don't know if I'll even read these, but I bought them because, number one, I like support. Oh, look, and Leah Capete is on that on the back. I like supporting magazine covers that have black people, especially black women, on the covers, because they track covers and they track how well the covers sell, and they see which covers sell the best, and that tends to set a trend for, like, who they're going to put on the cover. Like, for example, like, Rihanna covers and Beyonce covers sell really well, obviously. So that's why you might have Rihanna on the cover of Vogue 6 times in 1 year. So, and I also like to support covers that aren't just Beyonce and Rihanna, because they get the cover, you know, Nicki Minaj, you know, because they get the covers every year. So I wanted to support these, and I'm probably also going to buy that Vogue that Michelle Obama's on now. And yeah, this was just like a quick little part 3 on what I'm reading and what I'm looking at the moment. I've been reading a lot of just like I said, like romances, and because I feel like so much of what I read day-to-day articles and stuff like that is like so heavy that I like need some like light leisure reading, to be honest with you. So I've been reading a lot of like light romances just to like give my brain a little bit of a break, and that's self-care. And you know, do like I've always said, like, have you practiced self-care today? You know, like, do things. Don't get like so caught up that it's just like heavy all the time, because that's how people burn out. Make sure you're taking care of yourself, because like taking care of yourself and self-care is also resistance and is also revolution. So yeah, that's what I'm reading. There will be links to all those things in the description box. Let me know what you guys are reading in the comment section. Even if it is heavy, you know, like, feel free to leave links to some good articles and some books you guys are checking out for other people. And food for thought as always. See you guys next time. Peace.